guys want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we could grab some coffee?
Coffee! Coffee, 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 coffee!
God damn, Jimmy. That's some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on us.
I am not drinking coffee. I'm drinking Coke because somehow in my move, the coffee got left behind.
Which is
I
a
am
bad mistake.
not happy about it.
Not happen.
And apparently, I think Scott and Dawn are not coffee drinkers because I couldn't find any coffee now.
That means this show is a lie, sir. This show is a lie.
It is a lie.
I have coffee.
Well, look, it's Hollywood.
I have coffee and I'm the co-host, so it kind of counts.
Okay, kind of counts.
So how, you know what? I've been meaning to ask. Sorry to do this live, but if Anima's my concubine, but Gary's the love of your life, how does that work? I'm confused now. I'm like,
That's easy, Danny. He stole me.
oh, okay.
It's not the first time I've done that with somebody. You know,
Man.
I'm like Jack Nicholson as the Joker. It's time for her to trade up.
Yeah.
You had your chance, buddy, back in July.
You know,
But you brought me on this channel on July 19th. We looked that up yesterday.
hey, you know
So
what?
now
And I'm glad I did. You know, just call me Cupid. You know.
Yeah, I was messing with him the other day, you know, because he was, you know, kind of excited about it, and I wanted to knock the wind out of his sails. I said, well, we would have eventually met on Salty Nerd.
That's not nice, man. That's yeah. He did. This is a true story. That's true.
I did. I said it.
Whatever.
But
it's cool.
I do want to say good morning to our chat who's here. We've got a few people here. We got Penny.
Hey, Mom.
Dork Knight's mom. Zacharot 315. We have Socks Bulletin. I see you got my link. And that dude shares us out. I love you, buddy. It's really cool that you do that for us. We are going to be being picked up by KGRA radio, digital radio.
I want to
That's
ask
so
you about.
cool.
Yeah. Can you? Yeah. Tell me about. Is it just the? Because I saw the tweet and I visited the site and I looked into it. Is it just going to be your Wednesday show that's on there? Or?
No, they want all the shows.
Bullshit.
Plus
'Cause
the one we.
They want
don't
all
do
of us.
No, let me
nerdy.
tell you how the conversation went. Okay, first of all,
yeah.
good morning,
That's
Alex Moore. It's good to see you, my friend. Glenn Fleming, welcome, my good friend, you British bastard. Joe's Atmosphere, our good buddy. Joe, if you want
Hey,
to join
Joe.
us, man,
Joe.
you're
Joe.
welcome.
Come
to.
on, Joe.
Joe.
Up on the banner.
Hey,
let me
Joe
know, and I'll
I
send you
want
an
to do a
invite.
Sunday show on Pop Culture Minefield called Dork Side of the Ring, Gary.
No, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Let's do this.
So,
all right.
oh my God, Coca-Cola really is good. I forgot. Keith,
Don't you have diabetes? You're not supposed to be drinking that shit.
That's sugar-free Coke. And Keith gave him a lot over the weekend. And he's
Oh,
finishing
okay.
it up now.
me a 12-pack.
Okay.
All my drink
Okay.
mixes are still at Lauren's house down in Sparta. So the caffeine mix, drink mixes. Well, you're also British, Glenn. If you're in England, you're part of the British Isles. And a lot of people like being called British. What the fuck, dude? You are in England, home of the
He's
British
like,
Empire.
I am. What's the word I'm looking for? Whatever.
I think this is the same fuck up that you did when you suspected me being German. And I didn't like it.
Well, I didn't
think
know.
it's
Well,
Keith's
you
thing.
have.
You're not, but
You
he
are,
did
but
that.
you're
Okay,
not. You
me,
speak
but-
German, and
I speak
and caught the
Austrian
accent.
German. Back to differ.
Stop.
You sound crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
This is.
I'm not saying you're crazy, but that's a crazy argument.
I just like.
And just so you guys know, like on
This
one
is
of our
awesome.
first times hanging out together, I said to her, she says, "I'm from Vienna," and I said, "Oh, the Paris of Bavaria." I insulted the shit out of her by saying that.
And now everyone has an insight as to why y'all are in the mood. Yes. Finally, I didn't know you had that clip. I've been doing that forever.
Yeah, it's been there. People forgot we had it. It's up there. It says, "The more you know." TVG. And here, I'll play the whole thing. Here's the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that got rediscovered recently.
I added it because Keith will do one of his little professorial sermons.
Keith goes on computer.
Are you kidding me? That is Keith. No, and I love Keith because of that. That's all he does is spit knowledge.
I joke.
Keep telling him he's a computer.
He was going to join us, but he hadn't watched the latest episode this morning.
I haven't watched this episode either, and I'll dip out before if you want. Like, because
no, you can hang out and just listen to us talk about it if you want. So basically, during this show, at one point, I said, "You know what frustrates me most about doing these cons with you, Keith?" He goes, "What's that?" I said, "I can't hit one of my video clips to shut you up. We're trying to move forward."
Hello.
Hey, Brian, it's me. I got a question for you. Herbert and I are playing categories. Would you count NyQuil as a beverage? No, right?
No.
Yeah, not gonna fly, old man. Thanks, Brian.
Oh, that is bullshit.
So let's see who else is here. Yeah, okay, my North American friend that lumps you in with those. Yeah, it's got American in it. I'm okay with it, buddy.
Yes, Sox, that would be a wrestling-based show. And if you want to join, so far I got Joe's Atmosphere, who's down. I got my buddy Johnny Rock, who's down. Obviously me. And if you want to round out the panel to make it an even 4, I'm down. Because I know
that's a no from me.
No, I know y'all don't give a flying F about wrestling because I'm not supposed to use
I enjoy wrestling. Anymore. I just don't like modern wrestling because I don't think it's as entertaining.
Are you not watching the current? The Bloodline is, oh my God.
Look, I'm old school. Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper was a hero.
Dude, no, I'm a huge. Okay, so if you like Roddy Piper, you might be into MJF in AEW.
I find here's my real problem with modern wrestling is they went woke, and I kind of turned it off.
No. Well, look, so Vince McMahon, who ran WWF for like 100 years, had to retire because of a sex scandal, which is pretty salacious in itself. But now, Paul Levesque, who most people probably know as Triple H, took over, and he's doing, in my opinion anyway, in my humble opinion, he's doing a way better job of making wrestling. Like he's like this is gonna get me some heat. He's like Donald Trump. He's like, make wrestling great again. And he's doing it, man. He's doing it. He's like what, son? See, I say Trump and my son China. That's why I'm here today. My son needed a which is awesome about today's day and age. You know how every time you go to the grocery store, there's like 100 people with a support animal. My son, I hit him up the school, like email. I was like, hey, he needs a mental health day. Is that cool? And they're like, yeah. I was like, score. I know you can, son. Yeah, and you will. You're good. Yeah. I'm not ragging on you, buddy. I know you're going to do the work. That's the sad part is that school. So so his mom's a school teacher. His mom and I are divorced. My third ex-wife or whatever. And
you're almost caught up to me.
Okay. I'm working on it. So well, actually Cece would not like that comment. I didn't mean that, baby. So
Waiting for Flip Flop to come flying.
Yeah, I know, right? No, she's at work. It's all good.
You're lucky then.
Yeah.
He's digging a hole again.
But wait, hold on a second. I'm sorry, Derek. We got new people. Imperatus. Good morning, my friend. Hey, if you want to join us, let me know. Monkey Jeebus, hello. Thank you. Come again. Anybody else pop in while I was looking? Okay. Joe will be joining us in a second. Continue, Dork. I almost called you Don. Nah.
Oh, don't. I mean, I'm honored. So no. I don't even. What was I talking about? I was talking to my son's
and that's why
my mother, and I was like, hey, he's ready, man. He's super talented. Am I the only one here? Did I lose you both?
I mean,
okay. Gary's frozen.
Yeah, he keeps freezing. That's his internet.
Okay. So I was talking to my youngest son, Dorian's mom, this morning, and I was like, hey, look, I'm a graphic designer amongst other things. I loosely consider myself an artist. Gary's an artist. Gary, you've seen my son's work, right? I've shown you my son's work. Okay.
Yeah,
so my son's, like, in my humble opinion, and I know I'm his dad, so I'm biased, but he's like way more talented than people like 3 times his age. So he was confiding in me that he's sick of school and all this other stuff. And I was like, well, look.
Wait a minute. What grade is he in?
He's a sophomore.
That's about when it kicked in with Zoe.
Okay. He's a sophomore, but he's super talented, bro. You've seen his work. So I was like, look. So I was talking to his mom, and you know what? I'm glad we're talking about this. If Zoe had the same thing, like, you can maybe, like, please be honest with me. So I was talking to his mom, and I was like, look, why don't we just let him, like, get his GED, because he's smart as hell. I know he could get his GED, and then just put him into, like, the Las Vegas Art Institute, or, there's another one in California. Like, we live in Nevada, like in Vegas. So, like, there's 3 really prominent art schools really close by. And, but, like, it'll just be art. You know what I mean? He'll just have to work on what he wants to work on, and that would be fine. Where he doesn't have to do, like, social studies and what are these other bullshit classes you were telling me about, buddy? Okay. Anyway, he said, dude, change the topic. He's getting embarrassed. Okay. Anyway, yes, I'm proud of you. Sorry. So what do you think about that? Because she's a school teacher, so her knee-jerk reaction was like, hell no. Like, he needs to graduate high school. Like, what are your thoughts on that, Gary? What do you think?
Well,
Martin.
You've seen it, especially since you've seen his work.
I homeschooled Zoe for her last year of high school. So
I homeschooled Dorian.
She got into K-12 and it worked.
What? No, I know, buddy, but the
Morning, Imperatus. How you doing? And Martin, it's good to see you, my friend.
Martin! Hey, buddy.
Hello, Danny. Hello, Danny.
Dude, like, if my son didn't decide he needed a mental health day today, I wouldn't be on the show. So, but he's sitting right there, and he's giving me a lot of grief. But I love and appreciate him. He's so.
Hey, Danny. Sock says, I'm hearing that Triple H has been turning WWE around for the better. So that's great news. Now I should start watching. Well, I got to tell you, if it is turning around and not being woke anymore, I might come back to watch it. It's great entertainment. It really is.
I 1,000,000%, dude. Like, since Triple H has taken over, it's gotten so much better. If you're not watching the product, because I know Sox watches AEW because of our Twitter exchanges. If you're not watching WWE right now, which I still hate to say because it's WWF to me, check it out, man, because Triple H is doing good stuff, man. Like,
all right, I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dragon Bricks is here. Good morning, buddy. He says, does Gary feel like extreme close-up today? Yeah, because my setup's different here. So I'm going to be a little closer to the camera. Get him to apprentice, Gary. day one is canceled, and probably every 2 months instead of monthly events.
Yeah, no, that's correct. I read that last night. Day one was they've only did it one time, so it's not a big deal. They're talking about getting rid of all their gimmick pay-per-views because they make when you have a gimmick like a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view or an Extreme Rules pay-per-view, it's like people, you expect every match to be that gimmick, whether the story calls for it or not. But like, remember, what was the best any of you wrestling fans out there, what was the best Hell in a Cell match? Guarantee you it was probably at a King of the Ring. It wasn't at a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, I tell you that right now. So I'm really excited about the changes Triple H is making. So yeah.
Well, it's good to hear, actually. I kind of miss watching wrestling on the weekends. I don't like to watch it during the week because it's distraction for me. But I've always loved wrestling. I knew it was entertainment mixed with sports, that there was a plan. But these guys are so well trained that they'll go in with just a basic idea where they need to go, and they know how to signal each other. And they make it look it's like ballet, man. It's beautiful to watch.
Well, it's so funny you say that because so I'm friends with
that sounded so weird comparing wrestling to ballet. I'm sorry.
No. The funny thing is like I have a lot of friends who are wrestlers, and the common thing they say is this ain't ballet. So the fact that he said it was like ballet was
well, it is. It's because they have to know how to move with one another.
It's choreographed,
and
but that's the only thing that
the choreography sometimes is spontaneous. They just know the moves.
Yeah,
so they'll do it.
So I'm I live here in Vegas, and I'm fortunate enough to be friends with a few professional wrestlers, and I'm not going to name drop, so I won't name drop any, but
go ahead, dude.
No, it's fine. But they've told me that it's more like what you said, Gary. It's like we know the moves, we know what to do, but we don't like plan it out. We know who's going to win, you know what I mean? But when we get into the ring, we just call it on the fly.
Can you scroll that up?
I'm sorry. I just had a stroke for a second. What happened there?
I just wanted him to. What's going on?
Oh, hey, Mom, you finally replied. Thanks. Undertaker dude. No, well, I get why you say that, Socks, because of the big, huge table bump and through the top of the cage, but. I don't know, man. Like, and I hate Shawn Michaels, but that first one with Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, I feel like arguably, I feel like you and I could have a very friendly, spirited debate as to why I think that's the best one. But
okay, so I've got a super chat from Joe Atmosphere, who will be joining us shortly. $4.99 super chat. Triple H is bringing back all the guys we miss. It's really an exciting time. It's going to bring back Roddy Piper. No,
Roddy Piper's.
Bray Wyatt has the whole world in his hands again. That's good to hear.
So here's the thing about Triple H bringing people. He is bringing back a lot of people, but they're people that should have never been released in the first place. So
I want to thank you for the super chat, Joe. That was very kind of you. For you.
Oh, no, I'm a huge Brett fan. Haven't you seen my Brett the Hitman Hart shirt? I've worn it on the show several times. Socks. Yeah. I got his book over there.
Well, whatever helps you sleep at night, bitch.
Did I freeze up again?
Yes, you did.
Oh, that's a perfect freeze.
You keep freezing.
All of you that love wrestling and think it's coming back.
You know what? I do want to say
you
something.
need to stop doing whatever you're doing because you're freezing like every minute.
Me or him?
Gary.
Okay. So Socks. Please comment on this. Did or did not, true or false, Bret Hart named D-Generation X? Just going to throw that out there because, like, he does not get credit for that, and he should, because he called before D-Generation X was D-Generation X. Bret Hart cut a promo. He's like, "Y'all are nothing but a bunch of degenerates." And then, like, 2-3 weeks later, they were called D-Generation X. So, anyway.
Good morning, John.
Just a sec. Is Dawn here? Did I
I
see
haven't
that?
seen him yet.
Yes, Don is in the chat.
Oh, he's in the
Outstanding.
Facebook.
Guess what I haven't said today?
What?
Congratulations.
No F-bomb so far. But then he's frozen half the time.
Well, he's
so.
fucking frozen, so
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on to these articles. I'm getting really frustrated with this shit. I'm so frustrated with this. Freezing up every few seconds.
I use.
You need to get this cable today.
I would like to get through. I would like to get through the beginning of the show. Is what I'd like to do right now,
dude.
I've been trying to
try it. I have the T-Mobile thing, and it like I look good. Do I look good, guys? Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't freeze. Like you should try it, bro. Like it's like they give you like a month.
Geekosity by Mikey Sutton. Let's get through these headlines.
All right. Starting with the Amber Heard.
Yeah, make sure to show the headline.
Yeah.
Amber Heard seemingly missing from Aquaman 2 reshoots. This is going to be an interesting article. It's something we've been predicting that she's out. She's out. She's like Ann Sarnoff out. So she's gone. Go check
like
this article out.
Who's Ann? What?
Geekosity, Mike Sutton. Geekositymag.com. Geekositymag.com is your one-stop shop for checking out scoops, news, and rumors. Yeah, baby. And reviews. He does reviews now.
So who's Ann Sarnoff? You said Ann Sarnoff out? I'm like,
she was one of the heads of.
She's one of the heads at Warner Brothers.
I know. I was trying to be funny, but he froze, so it ruined the gag.
No, I just said that she stepped down. Stepped down.
Let me know when you need me to scroll down.
Let's skip on to the next article because I don't want to go into the whole article.
All right. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Yeah. I'm drinking Coke.
There you go.
What the fuck, man? This guy's like, they should have gone with Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott is probably in better shape.
Yeah, I mean, how old is that guy?
Well, they're close to the same age, but the fact is that Sam Elliott was already played a version of the character in as Ross. He played General Ross in the first MCU's Hulk film, The Hulk or The Incredible Hulk. So I don't know what they're doing. I really don't know. I am excited about the Red Hulk coming up, but it's nothing Marvel's doing right now, really. It doesn't freak my doogie. So, yeah, this isn't exciting news to me. But if you want to read this article, go over to geekositymag.com. Check it out. Next one, buddy.
Coming.
Are you? The only good thing with Harrison Ford being Ross is if they're doing the Red Hulk, it's going to be mostly CG, so he probably won't get hurt on this film.
Oh, yeah. like in his new Indiana Jones film, his CG double.
What new Indiana Jones film? There's only 3.
Yeah, I guess as usual, I'm the only one that liked Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
No, I
Yeah.
like it too. I like
hated
it too. There's
So
two
my-
of us.
So
There's two
my
of
son,
us.
my son was working on a project, because like again, he's super talented, and so like I like, I'll give him like jobs to do, and he was working on it, and then I walked past him a second ago when I was getting another ginger ale, and he was playing his Switch, and I was like, "Hey, I thought you were drawing." He's like, "Oh, I'm taking a break." And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's cool. I believe in breaks. How you doing?" And he's like, telling me his stuff, and I was like, "Yeah." Are you like that, Gary? You take a bunch because you're an artist also. You like draw, take a break, doing something else, and then go back to the drawing. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's the important thing is not to have the stream of subconscious flow be interrupted. That's the only thing for me. It's like I can't stand it when my creative flow is interrupted. But when I come to natural breaks when I'm doing artwork where it's like, okay, I need to stop looking at this for a bit.
He's been playing this game called Splatoon 3, right?
Have we completely derailed?
Splatoon 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, we almost
say
half an
that.
hour in and haven't even started talking about
We got to keep moving, buddy. Check this article out because Mikey and I talked about this movie, Halloween Ends. Look, some people like what they did. I think what they did was stupid. I hated their writing.
Nope.
Sorry, guys. So Halloween Ends is a huge. And it's just crap. It's just crap.
Is this
I
out
don't-
already? I haven't seen this yet. I've seen
I've seen
trailers
it,
and stuff.
I've seen
Thursday, I want to say.
I've seen it.
Is it on? Is it streaming or is it in theaters?
I don't know. I don't
on
watch the way
Peacock.
you guys do. I get to see them different ways. So I'm just saying, if you want to read this review and you've seen the film or haven't seen the film, be aware. And this isn't Mikey Sutton. This is actually Kieran Bug that wrote this article, the review for the film. He's over there in England. Do you like that one there?
So-
did you like me saying it is England instead of Britain? There you go. Merry Christmas.
Isn't so somebody? I've been out of Halloween for a while. Somebody told me the last Halloween movie that what's her name? This chick.
Jamie
What's
Lee
her
Curtis.
name? Thank you. That Jamie Lee Curtis was in. That was like they pretended a bunch of other movies didn't happen, and it was a direct sequel to like Halloween 2, I think it was. And this is a direct sequel to that. Is that correct? Is that how people are supposed to perceive this?
Halloween 2 doesn't exist in this universe.
Okay.
They went back to just the original Halloween and they veered completely off that he and she aren't related because that was established in John Carpenter's second film. Even though he didn't direct it, he wrote the script for Halloween 2. And that's where it was established that they were related. So I don't know why I'm over these guys. And Blumhouse pisses me off to begin with. I think he's a jackass.
I think it's funny because like I remember there was this big to do over Jamie Lee Curtis saying she was retired from acting. I'm not acting anymore. She did all those Activia commercials and she's like, I'll never come back to acting. And this is her second movie, which also happens to be her second Halloween movie since saying that. So I'm just like
Activia doesn't pay.
I didn't want
movie sucks.
Yeah, I guess not.
Hi, Joe.
But Joe. So what's the end result
morning,
of this
Joe.
review? Are they saying it's garbage?
Yeah, you should go read it. I'm not going to read it or tell you what it says. I'm trying to promote Geekosity.
Send me the damn link then. Shit.
It's in the
Private
chat.
chat, Danny. What
Oh,
are you,
sorry.
beginner? Don't act like a noob. Jesus.
Geekositymag.com.
link
The
to
next
it.
article, buddy.
Oh, there it is. I found it. I found it. Okay.
Geekosity.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are you going to have their link in the description there?
Dude,
It's in the private chat. Oh,
So-
I don't know.
Yeah,
if
but
you
he
can see
just.
A
he just
good
joined,
friend of
so-
mine.
that. Geekositymag.com.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The Rock promises to give the DCEU fans what they want. He has been silent for too long, in my opinion. They made a huge mistake with San Diego. It was just a washout. It just failed. But we're finally starting to see them ramp up, and Rock is getting in there, and he's talking shit about all the anti-Snyderverse people. And in
Dude.
fact, the next article, he was throwing rocks at them, not literally, but he was shitting on them. And he's promising that the fans, Ben Affleck, Shazam, and Henry Cavill's Superman, and Wonder Woman, of course, with Gal Gadot, are all. I love part of that universe.
Man, I just want to ask a quick question. I'm not trying to interject. Has anyone seen Black Adam yet here on this panel?
No.
Nope.
I have not.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
I didn't know it was
Neither.
out. Is
Well,
it
no,
out
it's
already?
not. It's
The
not
training.
out.
Okay.
It's not out, and I have not seen it either. But a friend of mine who's got better bona fides or credentials than I do got to see the premiere the other night, and can I spoil something or not? I don't want to.
No, let's not
Don't do that.
Please don't.
Okay.
Please
Okay.
Don't do that.
So just if you watch the after credit scene, you will be satisfied.
I already know about that too. I've
Yeah,
seen it.
that's a well-known
Everybody
thing.
knows.
Yeah, everybody
People
knows
are
that
talking
it's
one.
all the time about that. It's not new.
that Henry Cavill's
Don't say
back.
it, but we all know it.
No,
already.
it's he's
I
back.
didn't
We all
say
know
it.
he's
He
back.
said it. He said it. I didn't
I
say
know.
It's
it.
all
I-
over the
you know,
web. Nobody can skip seeing
Yeah,
its
you
headlines.
can't go anywhere without seeing it. The only way
Yeah,
not to
it's in
spoil that
headlines.
is to
When
stay
you
off
see-
the internet. Yeah.
When you see headlines saying it, it's too late. It's spoiled.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't believe. Like, here's
It's not
the
a story
thing.
spoiler
I don't
for
believe. I
me.
don't
Why
believe,
he's back is important.
Mhm.
I don't believe internet like BS. But when a trusted friend I've had for over a decade tells me, I believe it.
Right. Yeah.
That
course.
said, also, I had a theory, and it's on. It might be this podcast, might be another one, and it might be coming true. This is my whole. This is my whole thing. At the, I said this a long time ago. The post-credit scene of Black Adam will have Superman. Pick your actor. I'm not going to spoil that.
Yeah, but don't say why.
We'll have Superman in it, and then in February, when Shazam comes out, that post-credit scene will also have Superman in it, but it's going to
Well, now
be
that we got rid of
because
Hamada, we'll get to see.
it's going to be because
let's
we
move on, dude.
gotta fight
We
the
gotta go.
Black Adam.
We gotta go.
You know,
We gotta go. We gotta keep going here. All right. So, Anima, are you there?
Yeah, sorry. My Amelia keeps pissing me off. She's really weird today.
She's being a cunt today.
She's just
she was being that
meowing
way
at me
with you
all the
the
time. I'm like, what the fuck do you want? I'm doing a job here.
Should I
I'm trying
put the,
to.
Right.
Because we haven't even started yet, and we're half an
Yeah,
hour.
I'm trying to right now. So let's get into this. SEAL Team Season 6, Episode 5.
Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck.
Yes.
It's, I've got these little nitpick problems with the show right now this season, and a lot of it deals with writing issues. The overuse of what it feels like ham-handed drama that
Yeah.
doesn't feel quite right. You know what I'm
We get
saying?
more leg drama in this episode.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I like the attention given to disabled veterans from this series now. Dealing with, I mean, they focused a lot on PTSD for 3 seasons. And now, in last season, we started dealing with breacher syndrome, TBIs, and finally this season, we're dealing with an amputation of a limb on one of the team members. And so they're really getting into the stuff that veterans do have to deal with, combat veterans specifically. And it's interesting that they're doing it, and I like it, but I think the way they're doing it is kind of ham-fisted. You know, it's like instead of being delicate in writing dialogue and scenes, they're like pounding at it, and it gets really silly at some points.
They're overdoing it sometimes.
Yeah, it's just like when they're showing him with some of the problems he had with his leg and standing up, you're talking first weeks. Problem.
Yeah, not 3 months in.
Not 4 months into it.
Yeah.
You know, I've dealt with this. I worked at the VA. I've worked with veterans that have lost limbs, you know, and it's just really weird that they stretched it out that way. And it's like, and I do appreciate that they're showing the problems. I just don't like the way they did it on the show, timing wise. And then now we're seeing something else going on with Clay. Because not only is he dealing with the amputation, but now he's doing isolation. He's doing the typical PTSD isolation, along with potential drug abuse of his medication.
Yeah.
The pain medication.
Taking painkillers that he's hidden them.
He's sneaking it.
And it finally hits him that he's not okay because she's pretending and pushing himself so hard that now he's finally like hitting rock bottom, realizing he's not okay with this whole situation.
Exactly.
He even goes paranoid in the end.
Yeah, he gets, and I've seen that kind of paranoia. I've seen that kind of paranoia.
He walks out on his wife.
Yeah, and kid.
And yeah, after accusing her, you don't trust me with my own son. Because he sent the babysitter away, and she's like, I'm hiring her to help.
So I think you'd agree, Gary, that the most overlooked thing when they get back is mental health problems. I mean, they try and address it, but that's where the big focus should be. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people they forget what that word means in PTS and PTSD. Stress.
Yeah, stress, no doubt.
It is a stress, and it causes things to happen. My PTSD manifests in my voice starts increasing, the volume, and I start reliving incidents.
And you don't even know you're doing it. That's
you just sort of slip into it. And once I realize what I'm doing, I'm like, oh shit. I'll get that feeling like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But the problem with Hollywood so often is they act like PTSD breaks a person and they're no longer functional. It's like, look,
that's
some
not
of the
case at all. Yeah,
some of the former active duty combat effective Navy SEALs in particular have become very successful businessmen and politicians. So they learn to use it to their advantage. They get a certain amount of control, and once you start recognizing the signs, that's the big thing. Once you start seeing and recognizes the signs of what's getting ready to happen, you actually can cut it off and refocus it. Yeah. It's refocusing your energy. It's all it is.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of guys do it.
My stepson, Rhonda's son, David, God love him. He, when he got back, man, he was staying with us, and, he was self-medicating. I knew it. But I just told him, look, don't do it in my house. I was going to give him some time to reacclimate, but it wasn't until he got seen by a doctor till he started dealing with the stress itself and until he started getting medicated properly that he became a functional human being again. I mean, he was, dude, they were filming Battlefield Los Angeles here. I don't know if you know, they filmed a lot of movies here after Katrina, and my wife was an extra in a bunch of them and stuff. And he was driving around downtown, and when all those pyrotechnics were going off, he thought he was having flashbacks. Man, it freaked him out. You know.
Oh, I get you. I mean, shit. Even with me, I had trouble going to 4th of July festivities for years.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I'm always
because,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because in the military, you get used to, you know, the sight and sounds, but you have a certain reaction. It's like my favorite reaction from some combat vets was mortars coming in. And you see the new guys and they're ducking for cover, and the guys that have been there for a while at the fob are just walking to the latrine, like, gonna go take my shower. Mortars coming in. You hear the boom. First, you know, you hear the explosion, then you hear the boom, boom, boom of the mortars going off. People don't understand that the report, like I told a guy once, I said, you'll never hear the one that gets you.
That's right.
Why? I said, because the report of the gun,
before you even hear it. Yeah.
The report will come 2 to 3 seconds after you get shot.
Yeah.
You'll never hear it. It'll just, all of a sudden you go thwack.
Yeah, that's it.
And you'll drop like a string puppet. Your whole body goes slack. And that's what happens. I tell people, when people get shot, it's not like you saw in the old movies where stumble, fall. None of that shit. They go slack and they fall forward. They'll fall backwards, sideways. And because it's a shock to the system.
Yep.
It's a major shock. Yeah, I'll send you the address, Jacob. And I'm trying to see. Look, I want to welcome everybody that's jumped in. John is here. Das Wolfen. See, did I miss anybody else? I already said hi. Oh, Adega Outlaw is here. Good morning. And of course, Jacob is here. Jacob, yeah, I'll DM you where I'm at. Are you back home there in Springfield? Let me know. But anyway, let's start with the opening scene.
Okay. Team Bravo is still in Kobani, and it's night. And we see Jason.
That's in Syria, Kobani, Syria.
Not being able to sleep, so he's listening to what I suppose are his brain exercises, trying to get some work done. Eventually, he falls asleep on the couch, and of course, has nightmares about sending Hamal to his death, basically, where we ended the last episode.
Oh my god!
And then we have a breakfast conversation. They're getting pissed. They're 2 weeks in without having gathered any useful intel, aside from those phone IPs that Hamal got them.
Right.
Which Ray points out, because as soon as the weapon buyer's IP pops up, they can check if those phones are closed, because then they know for sure it's Al-Sham.
Yeah, because they sent that kid in for a suicide mission.
Yeah.
We knew he was going to die, but he actually got them intel.
Yes, and so Jason
in
says,
the end, Jason says it's worth it.
Was the least terrible thing to do. So he stands by making this call.
And look, I get it. Sometimes you got to do stuff like that to get. And that kid absolutely knew the risk going back in there. He knew the risk he was taking.
He knew.
But he wanted that deal. And my problem is Omar is behaving in a way.
Again.
I'm telling you, this pisses me off in the writing because I tell you right now, Jason would have yanked his ass out of that room and likely probably would have beat his ass for doing that. And it's hands-on training. It's like, these guys are tier 1 operators. He's from Foxtrot team. It's not like he's a new guy. And he's doing something you don't do. You do not talk that way to a senior officer.
He had issues at Foxtrot team, though.
And that they're allowing this to happen in the writing pisses me off because it's unrealistic. That would not happen that way. And if it did happen, he'd gank him out of that room and knock the shit out of him. It's that simple. But he's an interesting character, Omar, because we can't tell, because is he duplicitous or he's just a dumbass? He's one or the other. He's either duplicitous or he's just being a dumbass.
Yeah, you can't really tell.
Because he's doing things that are contradictory to how you do things in a team. You know,
he kind of turns around in this episode and then turns back again. And it's
well, confusing. I'm going to tell
you. Confusing character. And he freezes just as he's about to tell me something.
Yeah, well, basically what it is the worst thing you could be called in a team environment is get called an individual. It's absolutely used in the military when people don't like somebody who's not playing by team rules. And they'll turn and they'll call them, an individual. Well, you're being an individual. You're not part of the team tonight. And that's what Omar's doing. Omar wants to be part of this team, but he's acting like an individual. And you don't do that in teams.
He's trying, but he's fucking it up.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to make this character survive because they're making everybody dislike him.
I don't know either.
They're making the audience dislike him by being,
absolutely.
Acting with disrespect towards a senior officer in the open, in front of everyone. And I cannot believe Jason's allowing it. That's bad writing.
Yes.
That's, because he's a fictional character. He's only doing what the writers tell him to do. So the writers are making this character stupid.
That's the sad thing, because the acting is on point. Just the writing sucks.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you've got Sonny kind of liking Omar, and you've got I just forgot his name, Jason's
Sonny
buddy.
is trying to like everyone. You mean Ray? The one who's always
Ray's defending him too much. He should be up his ass. He should be pulling aside. It's like, hey man, get your military bearing going, because that's what military bearing means. Acting like you're a freaking part of a team. Act like you're part of the team. Joe's heard that before. Your military bearing.
Oh yeah, military bearing. You got to keep it when you're on the job. No matter what's going on in your life, you got to be part of the team, and you got to maintain a certain level of decorum with your teammates to where you're not causing friction. Anything that's gonna mess with the mission, you can't have that. No. Military bearing is a very important thing. The way they test it most of the time, man, if you've ever been on a drill team, they test it all the time during inspections. It's ridiculous. They'll snatch weapons out of your hands and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Just do everything to try and mess you up.
And you have to know, like, the minute you see that hand come up, the minute it starts
just be
to
ready.
move,
They're going to
you immediately let go of your weapon.
And stuff like that. And
you let go of your weapon during inspection.
Yeah.
The minute you see that hand going for your weapon, you immediately let go and they catch it.
Yep.
And your hands go to attention. But then once he finishes his inspection, he will present the weapon back to you. You better get those hands up there and grab it.
And it better be it better be with the bolt open. Because if you accept it with the bolt closed, they will chew
it's
your
a quick
ass.
Move.
Yep.
It is a quick move to open the slide. And you pull back on that breech and with no ammo, it locks open. But I got to tell you, your military bearing is so important. And I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again because I don't know if Joe's ever heard it. Where my first sergeant, Top, everybody calls their first sergeants Top. And Top's like doing his classic thing where he ends with, and knowing is half the battle type thing, because he loved quoting that from G.I. Joe. And I threw my hand up. I was first platoon, first squad, so I'm right out in front. And I was a squad leader. And my hand goes up, and drill sergeant looks at me, points a knife hand at me, goes, "What do you want, Kissel?" I said, "Top, losing is half the battle as well. Just saying." And everybody started laughing. We have three. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so he turns and looks at me and goes, "Where's your military bearing, son?" And I did a knife hand, and I pointed over to 3rd platoon, straight across from him. I said, "It rolled right over there, First Sergeant." And he turned and looked at the other platoon and then shot a dirty look at me, because I had changed the meaning of bearing from being how you conduct yourself to being a ball bearing. And he looked at me with the dirtiest scowl, and I said, "I did not make you look, First Sergeant. I did not make you look." And he liked me a lot. I was the funny guy.
Yeah.
But going back to this, you've got Omar behaving that way, and right off the top, we're running into problems. But the intel pans out. It works
because the IP goes online in Ajami, and the Al-Sham phones are around there, so they head out there. split up in teams of 2 and do surveillance to get just information about those people, faces, names, ranks. And we cut back and forth with HQ, where we see Lisa and Dea doing their job. And
a
soon
lot
they
of
figure
people
out-
don't know she's a Marine. She's not Navy.
Yeah. And they soon figure out the Al-Sham leader's name is Jamar Yassiri. And then we cut to a scene between Omar and Ray where they talk. And it's after Ray got a call from his wife. Apparently she managed to get a go for the vet center that he's planning. And Omar wants to know if he always wanted to do that. And he was like, no, but I had a traumatic experience. And Omar was like, yeah, everybody knows that. And she starts digging into him about what happened last season.
This is also, and I had to stop and explain stuff to you because you didn't see last
Because I
season.
still haven't caught up.
And, you know, so Ray was tortured when he was captured. And I mean, they really did torture him. They stuck things into him, his body, and did just all kinds of stuff to him. And we had to deal with that last year. And of course, he froze up during an operation and damn near got one of the team killed. And thank God, I think it was Sonny. It was either Clay or Sonny took the guy down because Ray didn't pull the trigger. And so this is all bad stuff. But as a team, they're operating in a way that they protect one another. You know, it's like we look at this as a team, and whether you are a little fucked right now or not, we're going to protect you because we know we're going to help nursemaid you back to health. And that's what they ended up doing with Ray. Is they helped him, they pushed him. There was all this aggression. And now we're getting kind of an echo of that with this situation with breacher syndrome that Jason's been dealing with. Last season, he took, what's that stuff called? It's not mushrooms, ayahuasca or some shit like that.
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca. He took that and they used it to walk him through. And he felt like 1,000 times better after the therapy session with this drug. And basically what this reminds me of is when psychiatrists started using LSD back in the 50s to help people who were traumatized by past experiences. And Cary Grant swore by it. He said, it changed my life because I was able to regress and go into these things. And because I was relaxed and being talked through it, that it helped me. And so I don't put any doubt that the ayahuasca does some good. And is that ayahuasca? Thanks for showing that on camera.
Go, man.
Stop derailing, Danny.
He lives too.
So basically, last season we got through all that. Now Omar is like, I'm the new guy. I want to find out everything. So I'm going to poke and get nosy. And it's like, it's a good way to get fucking knocked out doing that.
Yeah.
You get too nosy with somebody when you're a new guy, you'll get knocked on your ass. And I've seen it happen where guys get a little pushy. I'm not going to say they're nosy. They just got pushy and they get, not in the face, they get hit in the chest, straight in the chest, right here. They hit at the most firm part of the rib cage, and it'll just come down with it's almost like a bolo punch. I've seen guys get hit by drill instructors, sergeants. Knocks the shit out of them.
Jay is too polite to do that. So in the end,
Jason
does
is. I would.
open up. No, Jay does open up a little bit, and Jason is listening in, and he's not having it. He's pulling him out there, out of the conversation.
Yep.
And Ray's like, I didn't need to be rescued. I was handling it fine, but.
Yeah, but I like what Jason said.
Yeah,
Jason says,
yeah.
He's already taking shots. You don't need to be supplying him ammo.
Right, because.
And that was a good bit of dialogue there in that scene.
He's in a risky situation, just like Jason.
Yeah, so where do we go from there? Because I know that Lisa meets with that senior officer, but it's a better scene this time.
Later.
Is it later? Okay, I'll wait for it.
Clay and the green team on the plane, about to jump. And Clay is totally acting up when the other officer checks the gear too. It's like, hey,
I don't need my work checked. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other one calls him out like, this is protocol that 2 officers check the gear. So just sit down and calm down.
You're double checking the gear. So. He's starting to show that paranoia, and I'm like, what is causing this? So we don't find out till later. So we'll skip over that. So he gets called out in front of everybody, and that's kind of unrealistic too, because senior officers or subordinates will go, can we speak? And they'll say, can we speak
always,
real quick?
always in
And they'll
front
step
of the whole
away.
team.
Because I've seen that. I saw a second lieutenant try to dress down a senior NCO once. And that senior NCO turned to them, sir, if you want to speak to me about something like this, you need to pull me in private. Told him how to do his job.
Yeah.
And the lieutenant says, you're right. And then he turned around and they walked away from us. Now I'm going to tell you, we can still fucking hear him. I'm sorry. First F word of the show.
No, it's not. Sorry to disappoint you. Yeah.
I said freaking.
Your internet frustrated you into that earlier.
Oh, yeah. You heard me say
it. Military, it's Military Monday. Swearing is okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, fuck it. So anyway,
we see him starting his paranoia, and next scene we see Jason and Sonny talk about Clay because Clay's not reacting to any calls or messages.
And Sonny admits that he likes Omar in this scene. He says, I kind of like the guy.
Yeah. But Sonny
he's combat effective. When he's doing door kicking work, he's a good soldier. It's when they're down, he starts saying stupid things. And it sort of annoys me. Also, the previous episode where we get to see the guy taken out with a shot through a window by one of the girls with that team. Every single guy in that stairwell had the shot.
Yeah.
And should have taken it. I thought that was a badly planned out scene.
We pointed that out. We ripped that scene apart.
It's like, if you can see that guy's head sticking out or his shoulder, you take him out. Because his weapon hand, the shoulder was exposed, as was his head.
Dawn is on top of you.
4 F-bombs. Well, I will say this. I didn't cuss in the first half hour. I did not say one F word in the first half hour.
Go away.
So I consider that a win.
Quality control officer. Yes, sir.
Yes. Good morning, Don. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good Monday. So Sonny and Ray are talking, and they seem to be more simpatico than anybody this season. Sonny and Ray. Sonny's taken a shine to the female Syrian team.
Yes, yes, yes.
He seems like that one girl in particular. I think he took a real shine
that's yes,
to her.
The team is YPJ.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. And those teams do exist. They are I forget they're
we're not with them yet though.
They tried to start their own government in Iraq, North Iraq, and Turkey invaded them. And I don't know why the U.S. didn't react better. And so they're not Coptic Christians, but they're I forget what they're called. The type of tribe that they come from. They have them in Iraq and Syria. But anyway, so they're very anti-ISIL. I'm going to call them that, not because of other people, but because I love the show ISIS. And I don't like using that word. I don't like it. I like saying ISIL.
You mean Archer?
Archer has ISIS too. No, ISIS is another TV show from the 70s. It was a half-hour show that went along with Shazam. Oh, mighty Isis.
Oh yeah, I remember.
The Egyptian goddess empowered her with the ability to fly and all those things. So basically, they're that line there in Syria that are fighting.
Yeah, I had to correct.
Yeah,
he'll get there.
I'm gonna take the time to say to the organizer, man, your mic is muted or dead, either one.
He's doing it on purpose. He's goofing. Now it's not working.
Oh yeah, your audio is fucked
even though he's unmuted.
again.
Yeah, I had to correct myself in the chat. I said Don was the quality control officer, and then I said, wait, Don Ecker works for a living. He's the drill instructor of Pop Culture Minefield.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Dork, you're not sounding, man.
Yeah, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Let's
He's
get on
muted.
with the show. We are 1 hour in and have barely covered 20 minutes.
I was fixing to say.
So let's get on to the next scene.
They get new intel about a guy that seems to be close to Yasiri and apparently commanding soldiers. So they need to check that out. And the only 2 people available, because Jason, of course, wants to go with Clay, but he's on an errand run. So the only 2 people, of course, available to go check that out are Omar and Jason. So the 2 of them are stuck in a car. And Omar brings up that incident that he was talking to Ray again.
Yeah, he just keeps digging the scab.
Yeah, but they end up having a good conversation and actually seems like they're starting to trust each other. It's not a bad talk that they are having.
It's not a caustic moment, but then Jason sees this kid looking at them.
No, he spots Yasiri, and Omar's like, "Hey, there's only one guard close by. It seems like we have a shot at that guy. We can go and get him." And in that moment, Jason loses ground under his feet. We hear his tinnitus, and his vision gets blurry, and then he sees a kid looking at him, and he's like, "Fuck, we've been made. You need to get us out here." And Omar's like, "No, that's just a kid. That's not a civilian spotting us running away. It's just a kid who happened to have seen us. We need to take this chance and get Yasiri." But Jason insists that they've been made, and so they have to get out.
So you're left wondering if he had an incident.
Who
again,
of
from
them,
the breacher
of them
syndrome
is right? Yeah.
But the fact is he saw the kid look at him, and so did Omar. So he did see it. It did happen. But was he going in the wrong direction? You have to wonder that. But either way it goes, he calls it. And so they split. And this causes more conflict between Omar and Jason because he did that.
In front of the team again, as soon as they
again
come back.
In front of the team. Yeah.
Because of course there's talk, what happened? Why didn't you take the shot? You had a good chance to get him. And Omar is totally shit talking again. And Jason just shuts them out and is alone with Ray and admits his symptoms and what happened. And that with any other guy of the team, he could have pulled it off, but not with Omar because
he was too afraid.
Can't let Omar,
he doesn't trust us.
He can't let Omar in on what's happening with him because he's afraid that he's going to tell what's going on.
Look, if they find out, because that was what was brought up earlier, if the Navy finds out, Command finds out about what happened to Ray when he froze up, he'd lose everything. If they
find out about Jason's breacher syndrome, he would lose everything.
He would lose everything. That's why he's been going outside the network to get treatment and paying for it out of pocket. So, because there's 2 things. That's a breach of command. It's a breach of trust with the teams. So no matter what, Ray and he are both in the same boat. And they could easily be out. And of course, Clay is completely out right now, wanting to be back in, but he's going through his own shit. So let's go on to the next scene.
The next scene is, in fact, the scene between Lisa and Stevens, where they're having a good moment.
Yeah, she's in a full command. Yeah. They're outside drinking. So I like the fact that they had them have their covers on.
Oh, yes.
Because in the military, you only take your covers off indoors. And you do take them off. You get caught wearing your cover indoors, get your ass kicked. So they're sitting outdoors having coffee. And it was a proactive conversation. It didn't feel so, I don't know. It really made Stevens look like she was up to something the last conversation.
She's absolutely having her back now.
Yeah, but now she's showing that she's got her back. But she's telling her, you need to go with whatever you're stressed out about up here that keeps you awake at night and use that to sell what you're doing. What is it that keeps you up at night? That's the weapon you use to sell your ideas.
Lisa's listening to her. So they get along really well. It's a good talk that they're having.
It was a good scene. And then we move on to, and she gets called back because middle of the thing, because shit's going on over in Syria. So we cut to the next scene.
We see Clay first getting pissy at his wife and his babysitter.
Because
he feels more and more he's not pulling his weight, and he feels like the babysitter is also keeping an eye on him, and he's just not having it.
Well, because he starts to take a step, and it causes pain in his leg when he does it, he stops. He goes, ah. And she goes, I
Leg
got
drama
it. And
again.
she goes and grabs the teddy bear to hand him. And, you know, she says, I'm here to help. He says, you're here to help my son, not me. And he's just making it all about himself. He's all self-focused.
He's falling apart.
He's got a pity party going on.
Yeah.
He's just sort of a mess. Oh, they're talking about something else in the chat. Okay, so I'm not going to read that right now because that'll derail me.
No.
So
I was just answering something Jeebus was talking
no,
about.
I get you. If I start reading it, I'll go off and I'm like, I gotta stop.
Derail again.
I know me. I will derail. So go ahead.
I will not let you. Sunny and Ray are talking about the trust issues in the team because of the situation with Omar and that they can't let him in. What's actually happening with Jason and with Ray? He cannot fully have their back because he doesn't understand what's going on there. And Ray is all for, we need to get him to trust Omar. And Sunny, who of course really knows him well, Jason, he's like, we can't push him. We can't force him to do that. You know how he gets when he's cornered. But so the team's mission is kind of jeopardized by the team not trusting each other. That's a huge issue that needs to be addressed before they take a second shot at Yasiri. Because if they don't trust each other completely, they're going to fail.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And it's a good scene. But once again, we get a couple of scenes between those two. So let's move on to the next one.
They get a call. Yasiri had changed locations. He's now in Suluk. And he plans to attack an ISIS bases. So shit's about to go down. And they need to take that chance at getting their hands on him. So they have a little trust talk between the team. And they don't let him in on their problems, Omar. But they assure each other of having each other's backs and trusting each other. So sort of team building that we get there.
Yeah.
And before they move in, of course, they go to YPJ, the girl squad, for help. And Commander Nori, she's hesitant at first. She's like, they're going at each other. Why would we interfere? Just let them at it. It's Al-Sham and ISIS bashing each other's heads. That's good for us. So why would we get in there? But apparently Jason talks her into it by. So he's right. He's giving her a pep talk like, you've got a big chance to take out a lot of evil here. So let's go and take that chance. So they go in, and we get action.
Finally we get the first action scene of the episode. Yes.
Because they breach the first building and they clear it.
And I like the way they did it this time. It was
silent,
a
quick breach.
He used a blade to break the bolt that connects with the wall. And he just sticks a K-bar in and just pops it, and they breach. So the guys inside don't know anybody's coming in, and all of a sudden, two Navy SEALs bearing down, and they just pop, drop them real quick. I love the combat in the show and the way they depict it because it's pretty accurate. Every once in a while they'll make a mistake, and I think it's for dramatic purposes.
Yeah,
where I'm
of course.
That wouldn't happen that way. But like, there's a scene where we see Ray, and that's where they see the bad guy that they're hunting jump into a vehicle. I'm like, if Ray can see that,
yes,
that means he's got a shot, and he's not aiming his weapon.
No, he's just like, Yasiri's trying to get.
Hey, you guys down there, can you do this?
Yeah. And this is just what's going to happen because they have two more buildings to clear.
And they clear the buildings, but then they run into that situation.
No, they're about to clear the second building of the three when we hear shots outside, and they get the call that hey, Yasiri's trying to get away, so they go back outside.
Yep, they're having a firefight down there. Yep, and
they still have to try to go after him to not let.
They're going to try to go after him, and they get stonewalled initially, and they can't get out of there. And all of a sudden, the female leader of the that team, PJ,
Commander Nuri.
Yeah,
YPJ.
She sees that they're trapped. They're locked down under fire, and
UAV airstrike.
And they've got a Russian machine gun belt fed machine or drum. They're using a drum, but it's a belt fed. Those drums, we used to call them nut case, nut sacks, because it just carried a roll of belt is all it is. It's what you put on a saw. And it's the same thing with this one. But the difference is that weapon is 7.62 NATO. And it's a big round. That's a hunting round. So it's going through shit. It's keeping them pinned down. She jumps in. Nuri jumps into a truck.
More enemies are moving in, and we're getting a UAV airstrike too.
Yeah,
so
UAVs overhead.
Yeah.
They're like, how? It's like, who are these UAVs from? So she drives this truck. It's really a suicide mission. That's why she says she knew it. She says that what she says when she jumps in that truck. Someone's got to do it.
This is how it's supposed to be.
She jumps in that truck and just plows into that machine gun truck, knocks him to the ground, sends the machine gun flying, but she gets lit up on her way towards him. So when she gets out of the truck, she's wounded. Now, agreed, I think that the effects weren't done well on her, that with all that, whether a round hit her or not, all that glass hitting her would have cut her face up. And they should have had more of a meaty look on the right side of her face where those
even more
bullets were hitting.
later, because those guys grab her and she's not letting them.
Yeah, and that's the scariest part. That's the scariest part of the scene is she kills the gunner, shoots him to death, but then they run up behind her and they grab her. And they're wanting to rescue her. And like, what are we going to do? We got to do something. And someone says, she ain't going to let them take her.
I think it's Jason.
Pulls that little grenade out. And
with a grin on her face.
She said. She's grinning.
She says nothing. She's grinning and pulls
that pin and kills them all.
Yeah. And then they show her face in the end, and there's just a little blood and dirt on it. And I was like, yeah, no.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I didn't even look.
I pointed it out to you, but you must have been frozen again. I pointed that out, that you don't blow yourself up with a grenade and then your face is unharmed. That's like BS.
She had a good death. And she saved her team. Yeah. So they're finally able to move forward, and they start chasing. What's his name?
They're moving out. They're moving out. Yes, Yuri's gone. They're moving out. Come back, Gerry.
He'll be here. He'll be here.
I'm here. Just keep going.
Yeah. Yes, Yuri's gone. They missed their chance. He's gone. They're moving out, getting their asses to safety. And we cut to Lisa in HQ blaming herself for not suspecting that Al-Sham has UAV airstrike capabilities.
Well, and that's just it, because they lose a truck to one of the UAVs. They got hit by a rocket, and they're like, how did we? And they see the 3 drones, and those aren't cheap drones. Those are expensive drones. So the intel, Eric is like talking about this. He says, look, it's either, and we said it when we were talking about it, I said, look, it's either Russian or it's Chinese.
But
and
I
it could
suspect
maybe
Russians
be Iranian.
We know that Chechens are in there. So that, for
Yeah,
me,
we've
points
seen
towards
the
Russia.
Chechens. Yep.
Yeah.
So somebody is supplying them these drones. And so it's really good stuff. It's the combat scenes and all that were really good. Even with not the makeup on her, that was an amazing scene.
I just don't like that her face is unharmed after she pulled the pin out of the grenade and blew herself up. You don't look like that.
Hold on. No, she was driving a truck with 7.62 NATO rounds hitting the windshield. Her face would have been fucked up.
Yeah, that's a big round. Yeah.
We
used that one in M60s when I was
the glass would have fucked her up. I've given up. I'm just going to say it.
So we have one more important scene, and that's the wake for Nuri.
Yeah.
That they're holding.
And there's more drama in this scene.
Yesta is really determined to go after Yassiri now with Team Bravo. And at that point, Jason has to tell her, that's not going to happen because tomorrow we're going to be pulled back to the US. And she goes.
That scene pisses me off. When she says what she says, she knows that they're going to be pulled back at some point.
Yeah. But she's
knew that from the
insulting
beginning.
them. I should have listened to Commander Nuri in the first place. She told me it's just going to disappoint us. Warriors, and they turn their backs and walk away. And Team Bravo is just like, you knew we're not here forever. So.
Yeah, it's like, why are you acting like that? You knew that we would have to pull out. The thing that I said is, they wouldn't act that way because they know they're going to get better food when working with the U.S. They know they're going to get supplies from the U.S. They're going to help them any way, shape, and form that they can. They'll get them stuff. So the whole scene, this hate stuff they had is bullshit. That doesn't happen.
Yesta is doing what Commander Nuri did in the beginning.
And most of these people are trained by U.S. warriors. And that's something that they love. Guys that have gotten out of the military go over there and fight in Syria for these groups.
Yeah.
And they left that completely out. And that was something that bugged me because there are a lot of special forces guys over there. And
oh man, there's a lot of ex-military in those theaters. I know. I'll never forget when a friend of mine retired, and we were in the military at the same time. And he had done 20 years and done most of his time in South America. He pulled up in a brand new Jeep. He had just retired. We were like 38 years old, and he was back in. He had been working in Afghanistan, I think, training people in the military, and after he was done, he went right back to Afghanistan as a contractor doing the same job, making 3 times the money. It was, there's a lot of civilian contractors there.
That's amongst the stuff that we put into the box that is labeled bad writing. Seems like that.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's bad writing.
Yeah.
And we've covered the last scene where we see Clay hitting his hidden stash of pain meds and more leg drama and telling the babysitter not to come, and his wife asks him just why she's here to help, and they start fighting, and he's going all paranoid and has a backpack already packed and just grabs it and walks out on her and the baby.
Making sure to stop for his drugs.
Yeah.
And
that's how we end.
And that's it. We see Clay having a tantrum, acting all paranoid, and leaving. And the worst part is, she now knows that he's been getting calls from Sonny and he's not taking them.
Because Sonny finally texted her to ask if
and then he got all paranoid, like, oh, so you're talking to my best friend now.
Behind my
I
back.
never spoke with him. So for the first time in the series, I felt bad for her. Because her character's kind of
she's trying to help and pushing all the wrong buttons with him.
Yeah,
because...
absolutely. So, and that's the end of the episode. We end with him in his drama. So I'm wondering what's going to happen as we progress through the season. And are we going to have as nasty a cliffhanger as we had last season? Because last season ended with the ambush where they are all down.
Oh yeah. Well, we kind of at a cliffhanger now because they are being pulled back to the US. Yasiri is still on the run. The situation with those 3 teams.
But because of the intel, they know singularly that Yasiri is the guy that launched the ambush, that attacked the U.S. naval ship.
That got confirmed. Yes.
But they're not sure who's paying the bill.
Yeah, because Al-Sham is acting for somebody else, supplying them with all those weapons and making them go international over to Turkey, killing those 20 soldiers. So we did learn some things. They weren't just as successful as they had hoped because they couldn't take Yasiri out.
Oh my God, kitty.
She is fucking crazy today. It's been like that ever since I got up. And Rocket Kitty.
Oh,
there goes Rocket Kitty.
Crazy.
I'm sorry, guys. I cannot.
No, it's the end of the show. It's perfect timing. So, we're at the end of the show. We talked about the show. I'm looking forward to next week's episode. I like to see where they're going. I'm having problems with the writing, and it's irritating me that this show is really normally written better than this. I don't know if they changed writing staff or what's going on, but I like the fact that they do.
They think that they have to put in those little drama moments, and that's where the bad writing comes in. Because overall, the show is good. It's just those situations or dialogues where it goes, "Oh, like, come on, really? Do we need this?"
Yeah, and before we go, I wanted to comment on Kanye's statement. Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I don't care if he is politically aligned in some ways. That fucker's crazy.
Yeah.
And not in a good way. He's not crazy like a fox.
No.
He's crazy like he's like one or two beans short of a burrito.
Anybody who feels like he's got to disrupt an award show for his girlfriend is just
that's
okay,
I will never forget that he did that. That was so unprofessional.
It is. It's not. And yeah.
Not cool.
Yep.
And his reactions to South Park's versions of him crack me up.
You are nuts. You know that.
Like he'll find out about what they said about him this time, and he'll talk about it. Like it's like therapy for him. It's really weird. He is a weird dude, man. Kanye is out of his freaking mind. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. Get in here. Hopefully, I won't freeze up while doing this. Penny, thanks a lot for being here. Zacharot315, hey buddy. Socks as always. Let's see. Glenn Fleming, Alex Moore, Imperatus, who is with us here on the show. And if you don't recognize that, that is from a classic Hammer horror film. That image he's showing right there. Don Ecker, thanks for being here, buddy. It means a lot, man. I like the fact that he is watching what I'm saying.
Sorry for the F-bombs, Don.
He's the drill instructor. He's the drill instructor.
Military. It's Military Monday, so it's forgivable. Dragon Bricks, thanks for being here, man. Monkey Jeebus, thank you. Come again. Das Wolfen, John. Adega Outlaw, Jacob the Critic, my good buddy Jacob. Somebody named BRB. Oh no, that was Imperatus writing that in the private chat. And Awesome One. Did I get everybody? Is it everyone? I haven't seen Tickle Trunk in a while. I'm getting worried.
Wasn't he on vacation? I think he was.
I don't know if he's on vacation. Good. I don't need to worry.
He was. Wasn't he on Europe?
Sax was on vacation. That was
Sax. It's Sax. Okay.
You guys will know better than me. I've too much goes in one ear and out the other. If it's not related to me doing the show, I will forget stuff. And I apologize for being like that. I hate
just our
being
age,
that way.
Gary. That's just
no. It's the way I actually work my brain. There's information that I see as vital and must be retained, and there's information that when I hear it, I go, "This isn't important to my survival."
Memory dump. Yeah.
And I dump it. I just dump it because I keep the important things. Right. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for being here. And again, thanks for the super chat earlier. That was Joe here, who's on the show with me. Thanks for the $4.99. I love that.
Always trying to support. I'm not rich, but I will support.
Get Pop Culture Minefield with Joe's Atmosphere. $4.99. What a bargain. It's Eddie. It's a variation of an Eddie Murphy joke about chopsticks and an egg roll. $1.99. What a bargain.
What a bargain.
Do you want to shout out Chris' show tomorrow?
Chris will be doing a show tomorrow. It's part one of his horror suggestions. And so it's his first of the Halloween movie suggestions. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. I'm so happy he's joined the family and he's doing Tuesday.
Absolutely. I watched his show last week. It was good. Yeah.
Oh, he's good. He's good. He's funny. I even made a clip. I made the clip myself of him talking about why he is doing this show. And I thought it was funny. Yeah. But anyway, I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank Anima Confusa for being the love of my life. Dork Knightley for being the single best.
The notes.
The single best before Bill Barkley. He is the best derailer I've ever known. Absolutely. Followed immediately by Bill Barkley. That's Bill Barkley of Scotland.
Who wasn't here today.
Who was not here. He'll see this video.
Still we derailed for half an hour. He'll be so proud.
I want to thank Joe for dropping in, buddy. Thanks a lot, man. It's good to have a fellow veteran on with me.
I will always be your military advisor when Don's not around. No problem.
When Don's not around. But Don is always around. Yes. And Don, you know I love you, man. I love the shit out of you.
We have a backdoor drop.
There you go. You get the video. Okay, hold on. Where is it at? Where is it at? I'm scrolling. Got it.
Like, wouldn't you know that back door would trigger a trap door?
Yes. Look at
That took a while. Was
And
that the first backdoor?
thanks for being here, man. I know you really couldn't talk much because we're doing a show.
Is what
But
it is.
I appreciate you dropping in. You're welcome anytime. You want me to add you to the morning group? I'll add you.
You already did.
Drop in. Did I?
That's how I got the link.
Oh, okay. I thought I sent you the link. Okay, never mind.
You added me after one of the shows we did with 70s.
there you go. Imperatus, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too, Joe.
I am really concerned over these power outages that we're seeing. And if these brownouts and such that are happening in Mexico is because of all the shit going on with inflation and being in a recession. Oh, Denny left.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's obviously having sound problems.
Yeah.
Even when he's not muted.
Yeah,
he can't
also
talk,
he froze a couple of times, so his internet isn't as good as he says.
No.
He's
No.
having issues too.
He's got some kind of problem.
God bless
You're
Father.
telling me, Joe.
Right?
But hey, we made it through the show with Gary's spotty internet.
Yeah, and did you also notice that I also cut the derails and stopped them? Eventually?
That's very good. Yeah.
About half an hour
tried to
in,
do it
yeah.
hard to you early with the wrestling stuff. and he tried to do that the other day, too. And I love you to death, Danny, but man, it's Military Monday. We got to get on with the
military money. Keep
That's
your
why I
military
went off
bearing.
camera, because I'm not
That's it.
interested in talking fucking wrestling on military money.
And if you hear
I don't
us,
mind it, but
Danny,
only for a few
you
minutes.
need to check your Twitter DMs a little more often, man. I was ready to talk to you about this show after last week's show. So, you goof.
You goof. But anyway, I want to send this message out to all of you out there.
Sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
Okay. And again, with all the information we give you,
That
yeah,
was just
baby.
great.
The more you know.
And with that,